Southwest Florida misses a direct hit from Tropical Storm Isaac, but the storm surge is still leaving lingering concerns, creating dangerous conditions on some coastal bridges and roads. We'll show you where. Plus, a body turns up in Lehigh Acres, and now deputies suspect violence. What neighbors saw in this remote area.
It sounded like 2 or 3 pops. They said, you know, the guys like, they just had a gun.
Gunshots ring out in downtown Fort Myers, and tonight police have a home roped off. What our team is learning about a shooting near a busy shopping center. The news at 6 starts right now.
Tropical Storm Isaac, a 70-mile-an-hour storm right now, is expected to make landfall during the day tomorrow near New Orleans, Louisiana, as a Category 1 hurricane. Again, it's not a hurricane yet, still a 70-mile-per-hour maximum sustained wind, but it is moving off towards the northwest at about 12 miles per hour. And as it continues to move off towards Louisiana, our concern here in Southwest Florida, well, actually 2 concerns. The feeder rain bands could, from time to time, bring heavy rain to Southwest Florida. Plus, notice these arrows. This is the direction from which the wind is going to blow, and we're going to keep the idea of a southerly to southwesterly onshore wind through tomorrow and even on Wednesday. So that means that your high tide, if you're by the beaches or by one of the inland waterways, your high tide may be a little bit higher than normal. Think about 1 to 2 feet higher than it normally would be. This is a monster storm. I mean, it's a huge storm. Remember a few days ago it was a compact, little and tiny, but now the center of the storm is right here. But the outer rain bands go out over 300 miles from the center of the storm. And that means we're going to see rain over 300 miles from the center of the storm. Most of it today has been right up and down the east coast of Florida, 10 to 15 inches of rain there. All the rain that we were tracking earlier here over Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach, that little shower there in the Gulf of Mexico, well, there it is, going over Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, getting ready to go into Cape Coral right now. These showers are moving very, very quickly at about 40 miles per hour, so this shower will be into western Cape Coral here in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll keep tracking all this rain for you and give you another update and tell you when we see some sunshine when I see you again in a few minutes.
Thank you, JP. And we turn now to a scary situation in downtown Fort Myers. Police there say a man opened fire in the middle of the day near a grocery store just feet away from busy McGregor Boulevard. ABC 7 Steve Campion is live tonight from downtown Fort Myers. And Steve, police are telling you this all began as an argument.
That's correct, Jeff. The SWAT standoff unfolded here in the shadows of downtown Fort Myers. Witnesses tell us that is the spot where the argument turned violent. And as you can see, this is within eyesight of the downtown Fort Myers Publix and just yards away from busy McGregor Boulevard.
They're like, you know, get in your houses, get in your houses.
Bullets fly near some of the busiest streets in downtown Fort Myers, forcing some to take cover.
We're like trying to hide behind trees and stuff like that and still be able to see what's going on and not catch a stray bullet or something.
Fort Myers investigators explain a heated argument between 2 men turned dangerous near the corner of Victoria and Euclid Avenues.
It sounded like 2 or 3 pops. They said, you know, the guys like, they just had a gun shootout right here in that little parking lot.
Detectives tell us one man shot the other, sparking a Monday afternoon manhunt. As the sheriff's helicopter circled overhead, paramedics rushed the man hit by bullets to the hospital.
Next thing you know, it's like, you know, they're pulling their guns and everything. There must have been about 9 of them, 9 cops.
Those passing by describe a dramatic takedown to a scary situation.
You know, they're like, get back, you know, he's got a gun, and apparently they got him pinned down.
Now, within the last half hour, investigators tell us the man who was shot ended up driving himself to Lee Memorial Hospital. They won't release any names, telling us they're still piecing together everything. But as you can imagine, for many of the people down here, a shooting is the last thing they expected to hear on their lunch breaks. We're live in Fort Myers. Steve Campion, ABC 7.
All right, Steve, thank you. Investigators in Lehigh Acres are trying to figure out how someone died tonight. They do not know how it happened, but they are calling it suspicious. This is happening at Edison Avenue and West 18th Street. The body was found in a remote area. ABC 7's Megan Smith with what she found out for you today.
Over on the side of West 18th Street is where a body is found.
White male did get pronounced deceased here at the scene.
Lee County detectives suspect foul play.
It does appear suspicious.
Around 9 a.m., a driver made the gruesome discovery.
A passerby driving by that saw a body off the side of the road.
They called the sheriff's office and deputies taped off the area as a crime scene. A canine came out and combed the ground for clues.
I always ride my four-wheeler around here. You know, that could have been me to find that body, you know.
Detectives don't know how long the body has been here, but Ronnie Vila, who lives nearby, says he drove by the spot a few days ago and the man wasn't there.
I never think like something like that would happen around here.
Ronnie tells us he often hears gunshots in this remote area of Lehigh Acres.
They just go out there and just shoot guns, and that's it.
Right now, investigators are waiting on an autopsy to determine exactly who the man is and how he died. Megan Smith for ABC 7 News.
The worst of Tropical Storm Isaac missed Southwest Florida, but there are still dangers out there right now. On the beaches and our barrier island communities, the storm surge is causing flooding around houses and roads. Go ahead and take a look at the incredible video coming into ABC 7 from all across Southwest Florida tonight. On the left side of the screen, you've got Sanibel Island. You can see water rushing over the bottom of the Causeway Bridge. In the middle of your screen, the storm surge is causing flooding in some areas. In one spot, the water is 3 feet deep right now. And on the right side of your screen, that is Goodland near Marco Island. High water is forcing drivers to turn back, isolating parts of the coastal community. And that is where we will check in first right now. ABC 7's Sandra Weathers tells us how Goodland residents are coping with that storm surge.
Streets filled with salt water and submerged boat docks is not exactly the view Russ McDonough moved from New Hampshire for.
We're used to snowstorms, not tropical storms, so it was amazing.
McDonough says his Goodland waterfront home was able to stand up to the storm surge from Tropical Storm Isaac.
A lot of people did vacate the compound, but 4 of us did stay here, so we're going to ride this thing out.
He says waves got as high as 5 to 6 feet, putting some properties underwater and closing several roads. But for this view,
of course it is a price I pay to get this view.
Sandra Weathers, ABC 7 News.
And tonight, many are saying Isaac had a lot more in common with Tropical Storm Debbie than it did with Hurricane Charlie. Just like Debbie, some of the most incredible video of the day came along the Sanibel Causeway. The storm surge shut down the landmark Lighthouse Beach, and a spot Debbie damaged is seeing a lot of the same problems tonight. ABC 7's Lauren DeSpirito is live from Captiva Island with more on that. Lauren, what can you show us?
Well, I can show you this is low tide conditions here at Captiva Beach in front of Muskie Dock. We're an hour into low tide and there's still more water than you would normally see. Two things could be happening here. This storm surge could be churning up sand, actually bringing it back onto this beach that already saw erosion during Debbie, or much worse, it could actually be pulling more sand away. Most of Isaac may have missed Lee County, but the storm surge is causing plenty of problems for people on Sanibel and Captiva.
I could just stand here and it looks like the waves are just going to take me and wash me around a little bit in the sea.
Water pushed high into the dunes at Lighthouse Beach, prompting Sanibel officials to shut down part of the access road leading to it.
There's no beach, just water.
Enough water to keep visitors like Stefan Labata out of the surf, but close enough to capture a piece of the 3 to 4 foot waves. And just before noon today, water jumped the causeway's seawall, washing over the only route off the island, forcing officials to keep an eye on conditions.
It's all nuts, man. I mean, you get out there and the waves start like crashing on you, and then you get about 30 to 45 feet offshore there, and the current just takes you.
Luke Santagata didn't want to miss the rare chance to ride a wave on Captiva Beach, but warns it's a risky swim.
I would keep kids out of here too. They could easily be 500-600 feet down. By the time you look down, look up, your kid's gone.
Rip currents and tides can be deadly following storms.
Hopefully tomorrow will be a little more calmer and get one good day at the beach before I head back up north.
There's no telling yet how much damage the high tide and strong surf may be doing to beaches up and down Lee's coastline. Now, officials hope that they can come out to this beach, Captiva Beach, tomorrow. They're hoping the tide recedes enough moves enough water out of here that they can get a look and see, is there more damage? Are things actually better than they were after Debbie? But again, it's just too soon to tell out here. Live on Captiva, Lauren Despirito, ABC7.
All right, Lauren, thank you. A remarkable video today from Sanibel and Captiva. And let's stay on the beach now, just past the beach on Fort Myers Beach. Some residents woke up to see their streets flooded. Go ahead and take a look down Bahia Via Street on Fort Myers Beach. It is underwater right now. Neighbors say it peaked around 3 feet high. The water made its way into some houses, flooding them.
Our garage and our downstairs recreation room and laundry room are all under 6 inches of water.
I have to park my car different places down the block in order to get out to go to work in the morning.
People who live there say they have asked the town numerous times to have their low-lying streets raised. The town tells us it's working on a multi-million-dollar master stormwater plan to fix that problem. And in Cape Coral tonight, people there are nervous about rising canal levels. Boaters are finding some creative ways to keep their boats from smacking into the dock. They are actually moving their vessels into the middle of the canals to protect them from damage. With the worst of Tropical Storm Isaac missing the southwest Florida area, the Republican National Convention is now moving forward with delegates ready to nominate Mitt Romney as their candidate.
Called to order.
Today, the convention began with the sound of Reince Priebus's gavel, but it was immediately then put into recess until tomorrow. The challenge now, packing a 4-day convention schedule into 3 days.
Shorten speeches and,
Shorter.
cut a little bit here and there and maybe a few presentations, but not eliminating actual speakers.
I'm sure it's frustrating that the first day of the convention's been postponed, but the convention made the same decision I made. The most important thing we can be doing in the state is keep everybody safe.
A new ABC News Washington Post poll puts Mitt Romney in a dead heat right now with the president. And tomorrow, I will be in Tampa for the Republican National Convention. I'll be joining ABC7's chief political correspondent, Chad Oliver, who is already there. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and our broadcast throughout the day tomorrow. You know, before Isaac passed by, we saw a spike at the gas pump. But now, as things return to normal in terms of weather, we'll tell you why we may not see those higher prices fading away. We figured out why. And this is a live look right now at some blue skies coming through. Still ahead, JP has our forecast and a look at when we will see more of the blue skies. Stay with us.